this one. Completely correct, okay.
What's going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a beautiful Friday night or morning or wherever you're at. It is late here in Texas, about 1 o'clock in the morning. Friday's usually pretty busy for me, but I decided I'm going to put one out anyway and do it. I did miss yesterday. I apologize if anyone was really out there looking for it. I'd be shocked if there was. Someday, that will be the case. But then I probably won't miss one either. Anyway, this is No Noise Research with Z-Rex. Coming at you live on September 8th, 2018. You already been seeing the prices, I'm sure. News articles flying around talking about Goldman Sachs and then flip-flopping again. Do they even flip-flop with that kind of news? The trade rumor on a rumor. We kind of were talking about it in the other video, and I was just like, what the hell? So for this video, I'm actually going to skip the first part of the news, and I'm just going to do TA. And I'm going to try it like this for a few times just to see. You know, I've got a lot more content out now. I'm on video 34. And so I'm just kind of thinking, you know, let's try something different. I got enough samples, you know, that's a good month and a half worth of videos. And so I'm just going to kind of try something different and see. And plus, this is just kind of getting really dumb and redundant. And I was just thinking about, you know what? No noise. That's where it's at. So they literally just change their mind every week. It's just like, or every day now. Oh, it's fake news. So we're just gonna do, we're just going to do the TA for this week and see what happens. At most, maybe like one article if it's really important, but you already are gonna see most of that stuff. Like, y'all know the SEC guy, they're full house now, which is good. And maybe I'll just talk about them like that really fast in the intro. I don't know, I'm gonna play around and just see how this pans out. But with that said, let's just jump into the markets. They've been a doozy. The last video we were discussing that we were likely to just go sideways. You can go check out all those videos. I timestamp the crap out of them so you can navigate quickly to whatever you want to listen to. But the bulls got knocked the F out, as you saw on the thumbnail of the last video, on Friday reference. And 40 billion just came out of the market within, you know, half that day. It was pretty brutal. And I was talking about, you know, usually on moves like that and it started stabilizing here and volume was tapering, it's kind of like, well, we're probably going to just have a boring sideways consolidation to see. That doesn't mean it's going to go up or down per se, but it's just market needs to digest such a large move, and it's like, oh crap, which way are we about to go now? So, you know, if y'all don't know that move, that would be this one here. And also, you know, this chart was coming up on lots of resistance, and on the hourly, oh wait, let's go back over. We talked about being neutral. It went below and lost its momentum all the way back here on the second touch of the trend line. We talked about in the videos I was scaling out over here on the first one, because you got this trend line, you had the 618, there's a lot of stuff. I didn't take a short on this on the paper, on my paper account. Unfortunately, that was kind of dumb. I definitely should have done that, but that's okay. You know, being in cash isn't the worst thing either. And so, yeah, it's been boring. Yesterday would have been kind of just the same video as today, actually, which is kind of funny. So, just consolidating like we talked about back over here, still happening. Went ahead and put this yellow little caution box on here. Was discussing again how referencing this to the 1 hour losing its momentum, going below like this 25, 26 level that we like to see on DMI. That means they're getting exhausted. And it went neutral in the hour. It did not go neutral on anything else though. The 4 hour is still bearish. The daily just got kind of bearish. and the 850 is bearish. Now, the only thing that makes this a little more interesting is just the magnitude of this move and where we went relative to like price, like, you know, past price action. Here back into that green box zone, which we've, if y'all been watching any of these, you know about the green box zone. We're just back smack in the middle of it, so it's again kind of really neutral right here. Bears, all the bears are really excited now. I have noticed people are, you know, talking about how their short did amazing, and this price action has seemed to really get them going, which usually, you know, when a lot of people are on the same side, you usually get some kind of relief bounce. Maybe it is going into a downtrend. It'll be some of this action here, here, as you can see, and all of that. Let's just go ahead and go to full screen here. Yeah, so back into this middle kind of nowhere zone, and bears are so excited and they're like cocky now. And so like would I enter in a short right here? No, I'm not going to do that. If you got in a short right here, great. That was an awesome job. Good for you. Hell yeah. Now what do you do with it, right? I don't know. That's up to you. You should have had a target when you opened that position where you were looking for. And sometimes when you get big ass moves and you're in the position, whether they're up or down, it's never a bad idea to take a little bit off the table. Maybe just like 25% even, you know, it doesn't have to be that much. And because it can easily go down more, obviously, right? But when you just get these really big ass moves, it's never a bad idea, especially if you're trading on margin. So now, if I was in a short, like we talked about getting long and riding this up, we were targeting mid 7,000s for like a week and a half. It ran up into the trend line on a nice, we used to have the trend line drawn right here too, but that one, it got violated obviously pretty hard. But if y'all remember in that video, and please go check them out, you know, you had this trend line cross here, you have the purple exponential here, you had the 618 retracement here too, from the top of our box to about there. So 618 stacked right on top of that as well. This is a wall, guys. And I've had this box on here for a long time, and I'm almost thinking about putting it, like extending it to here, but you know what? I'm just going to leave it there because that trend line, I think, is more relative to that price action in the 618 too. And so now we're just back in here into this mid zone. We needed to get above that 60-50, 75-100 area on a daily, above that, and we definitely did not. And now we're just back in neutral zone. I don't think this is super bearish to go to like 3K. Bears are too excited now, and we're back in the zone where there's a lot of business being done. Like just like this resistance up here where this red box is, the bottom of this is like the same. It's equivalent, right? This is just a hardcore buy zone right here, and this is a hardcore sell zone. So we're just kind of range bound, and until, as we've talked about since this consolidation in this run up, it needs to close below 62 on a daily, and then I'll start to get a little bit concerned, because that means it will put you underneath. I'll just draw a little line that'll put you underneath roughly around here. See, so you're under a lot of this business and starting to get into only where there's two bodies, this one, and a couple of these, like a very bottom part of this one, and then mostly wicks. So that's not going to be very strong if it can actually get down there and start closing on dailies in that range. So 62, kind of the same thing for that. Let's go on the oscillators, see if we can see anything interesting. No, not really. They are kind of coming up to reset a little bit here. There's not any divergence. Yeah, this is a little bit lower close, but that doesn't really count. It's all, most all the business is still in the wicks and the bodies. Bears are losing a little bit momentum, but they are notably above the 25-26 area on DMI. So like this is where you have to look for, like I talked about, unless you're like on the longer term time frames. I like to trade on the hourly, or a 4 hour for entries, but the hourly can kind of just give you like little signals Like right now, it's showing that we're getting neutral. The last 10 hours or so has been switched to neutral. And see how we're also hovering around the hour on the 21 exponential. So this tells me that so we're kind of flipping back, and I would not be surprised at all to just see like a little bounce up into like 66 to 68, even if we are going to sell off some more. And then I did not expect us to go neutral this fast on the second day, so that is interesting. It was collapsing fairly quickly. They tried to pick up here again, and they got bought back up. Tried it again here, immediately got bought back up. So the bulls are defending this low 6,000 area. Price is real tight right here. It's coiling up. This easily could be going down. I'm not short on this or long. I'm going to wait for price to break out of this because the oscillators are going to get kind of nasty. But on the dailies, if you are on the longer term time frames, you're probably going to be holding this short. The daily is pretty bearish looking, but the only thing, guys, that we're in this box, and if you pull a fib retracement from all this price action around here, it's it's hovering in the 618 area. So it's pretty damn interesting that we kind of have made a little 618 box range right here is what our little medium price action is happening. So we're in the 618 box, and I'm gonna kind of wait for price to get out of at least the top of our green box that's on there. But so be careful here. This is going to be a dangerous move that pops out of this. It's not going to be gentle like this part up here. It's going to be at least equivalent to probably half of this in one direction or the other. Like, that's the thing. No one knows shit which way it's going to go. But this was a pretty abrupt sell-off. So yeah, even if we just took some of this 618 retracement of just this local sell-off, you got about 6,900. So, and the halfback is 68. Let's go see if Ethereum is still looking like a weakling. Let's ratchet up to the daily. Yeah, it kind of is. We talked about in those other videos, it kept getting rejected on the 21. It's been looking weak like this whole time in this consolidation. If this flag plays out, let's see what that kind of, like this flag right here I'm kind of looking at. Bam, bam, right? So if that flag plays out, you pretty much have like this distance roughly. And if that were to occur, that puts Ethereum at around $100, y'all. That is a hell of a move. And let's double check that with points here. Yep, it's about 40%. Whoa. Yep, around $100. So that would be pretty damn rough from here. That would probably be a capitulation. Everybody would be hanging that the crypto game up at that point, for sure. Which would be great. Talked about it in some videos way in the beginning. Like, I would love to see that this year now. Get it out of the way, because it's gonna happen. Like hardcore capitulation where a YouTuber quits. Like I talked about that in one of the first videos I did. It's like, you know, I want to see something like that. So, but it's already pretty, the sentiment is already pretty damn low. A lot of my friends aren't even like interested in it as much. It's kind of like, oh, it's boring now. Like, we're not going up 50% a day or down 50% a day now. Jeez. Mostly up, right? But, so, keep that in mind on this flag. That is a hefty measured move right there. that would be like that would actually be awesome to get out of the way. Yeah, would it suck and you'd be sweating and you're like, whew, but know that that is getting close to capitulation. Usually it'll do that and then it'll double tap it at some point to like make another test and really push everybody's, put the balls in the vice, right? So this looks bearish. The only thing that kind of is interesting that looks to be developing is this downward channel right here. So, and it's not even like the greatest looking one. I guess drawing it from these highs back here and these lows and some of that is, yeah, you kind of have to split that, right? Because this is a pretty swift sell-off. You know, that's a V pattern like a mofo right there. Those are, whew, those hurt a lot of people. It's like, oh, I told you I'm right. I told you. Oh, this is just a dead cat bounce. Oh, crap. No, it's not. It's like one of the little mini psychology graphs. So, you know, everybody looks at the big one, which you should, but it happens all in these waves, too. It's like sine waves, right? Anyway. So we are coming at the bottom of this channel. I would imagine, like I said, we're going to get some kind of relief bounce on this. And a local measured move on here would be about 260. So I could easily see that. It could go either way, though. It could easily sell off here. That's why I'm saying this is a time to be a little bit neutral and wait for the price to start really moving. Because what are you really getting out of, you know, I guess Ethereum's telling you, like, this is not looking great. So there is that. But on Bitcoin specifically, you know, it's been sideways as hell for the last couple days. Not really telling you nothing. Little $100 bounties. And it looks like we're getting a little test here to the mid-range of this box. We haven't come up to the top of it in a while, so that probably is going to now. That would actually be a little bit bullish, though, because that would lead you to be going over the 21 exponential, which it hasn't done since this sell-off on the hourly. And do keep an eye out on this DMI if this gets some momentum, and especially if the bears get below the mid-teens. That's that middle line here, while the bulls are above the 26. That's a good sign, and that probably means that they're going to come test back up in this range, would be my guess. If not, a measured move to the downside, you're probably looking at around, let's see, let's just do it real quick for the BTC. You know, it's just pretty much like this distance, and then you can, this is like the bootleg faster just kind of way to do it, because it's all really the same. You know, yeah, if you draw it, it's like a flag or some kind of pennant or something like that, right? So that is the timing right there. Like, the move's going to be happening fairly soon, right? From even just like charting that. And dude, that brings you down to, wow, look at that. Holy crap. So that's pretty interesting. I just totally randomly drew that, and it's touching the line that I had. I've had this red line drawn on here for since price was like 17,000 or something. I just left it there. Wow. So that would be capitulation, I think, for sure, especially if it happens right now. That would burn some people pretty hard. And markets do like to screw people. Friend told me it's like the market tries to inflict the most pain all at once as it can. And that kind of makes sense if you think about it, like in the psychology of everybody getting maybe exuberant to the upside, and it can just only go up and everything's amazing. You know, like Amazon, right? $1 trillion company, dude. Nothing can go down, and then, you know, it proceeds to have a 5-6% sell-off, which really doesn't mean anything. It's just like a liquidation break to keep going. Filled this little gap here at other all-time highs. Like, still bullish as shit, but can't stop Jeff Bezos, man. Facebook is not showing any love, though. Let's go to the daily here. Yeah, Facebook has been absolutely destroyed here in the last month and a half, down about 27%. Yeah, I'm scaling into longs in Facebook on my paper account because I do think that there's a big chance for a snap pull back in here. Just if the market gets a little bit of love, just as we just looked at in Q, we'll go back to it. You know, I guess we weren't looking at NQ. Actually, I'm sorry, we were looking at Apple, which whatever. It's Apple's most of the NQ on a weighted basis. So, but yeah, so you can see it's having a little sell-off as soon as there's any kind of love in the general sector. This last week had a little break, and so I'm using this to kind of get long. It's coming to test this trend line. Also the 55 moving exponential on some of my indicators that I use personally that I might have shown them on here a little bit, but off of my other stuff that has a really good rate, it is right on support levels. The 55 EMA and the 21 are really good simple ones to use that anyone can just throw on their chart. That's, got to keep it simple, man. Don't put too much on your stuff, you know. RSI maybe is good. Yeah, I'm almost about to take off the volatility one, but like, I don't know, sometimes it's just good to measure that against last time. I don't know, VIX is pretty, and it's cool because you can put it on anything that you put in here. It's not like the VIX is only on ES, on S&P 500, so any ticker you put in there, it kind of reverse engineers that formula using, I can't remember, a bunch of the oscillators. It's definitely pretty cool. As you can see, it shows divergences and other things too, but mostly you want to see it for the magnitude. Like if you sold options, this would be extremely valuable. Someday crypto will have a lot of that. Anyway, so this is looking good right here. I am scaling into long positions in the markets. That's general equities. Oil got hit a little bit this week with everything else as the market sold off. So it's been kind of sine waving right around this bottom channel trend line, which has been intact since December of last year. So it's pretty solid trend line, but now it does look like it might be getting broken and it might become irrelevant. This is looking kind of weak. Let's look at some internals here. Yeah, kind of neutral on the daily. How about on the 3-day? Neutral on the 3-day. Bearish on the 4-hour. Bearish on the 850. Let's look on the 1 hour just to kind of zoom in a little bit. Bears are still pretty in control here. The bulls are fighting really hard though in this 67 area, so they are getting rejected by the 21. That is always the one that lots of bots and stuff is programmed from. And then you got the 55 is right behind it at 68.20. So if you trade oil, that's a little oil TA for you. I think you should trade oil. Everyone should. It's an awesome product to trade. It moves all the time, and it's not really correlated with most other products. So, and they have leverage and futures and all that good stuff with it. As you can see, it moves. You're like, damn, what cryptocurrency is that? It's like, nope, that's just oil, man. Look at that, from 58 bucks to 30 bucks in a year. And yeah, I mean, it moves. It does things. Let's look at some gold. See what it did for the week. Yeah, don't really like it still. Jeez, yeah, y'all know I've been bearish on gold here a little bit. I think this is the last little flush out before we get some kind of crazy moves. in currencies, or, you know, I don't know, something's a brewing. The dollar's getting strong, gold is weak, everything's awesome, like the Lego movie. Markets at our all-time highs, except the Dow Jones. You can see here, it's trying. It's almost there. I do think this will test. I'm waiting for, I've said it a few times, I'm waiting for the headline. Markets are, all markets break out to new all-time highs. Everything. Dow Jones, Russell, NASDAQ. What's the next company that's going to be $1 trillion? You know, that, the third one, that one will go over $1 trillion too. It'll be Amazon, Apple, and I don't know who it would be. Definitely can't be Netflix or something. I guess Facebook is pretty close. But, yeah, so I'm kind of looking for that. This is still bullish on all the way out to the 3-day. The markets still look really strong here, even with this sell-off in the longer term time frames. That's why I am scaling into with long deltas on my paper account. Alright, so speaking of the dollar a little bit, as we did, let's check it out. As y'all can see, it's getting a little bit of strength here. Oh, I don't have the horizontals on here. Just add them real fast. It's Alt-H. If you didn't know, now you know. Do that real fast. Neutral on the daily. Bullish on the 3-day. Bullish on the weekly. Actually, wow, the weekly looks really, looks pretty damn good, especially if it sold off a little bit harder, man, and then popped in that same week. That would set it up real nicely. Anyway, daily neutral, 4-hour bullish, hourly bullish, and the 850 neutral. So 850 and daily are neutral. Everything else is looking pretty damn bullish. There's no divergences. There's nothing really you can see on the oscillators yet. So let's keep a close eye on this because it's important. Whenever this dollar starts ramping up, we talked about it before in an old video. Go check it out. I'll just briefly mention it. They rally up at the end of crises, just like right here. Look at 08, getting it in. So. Alright, let's go to Litecoin, because I think, no, we did Litecoin a little bit. XRP is what we skipped. We got distracted with equities. And there's XRP, there you go, see? Should just go all in. Dang it. There we go. I guess that's okay. It's on a weekly, that's why. It's like, what the hell? Ripple looks okay. It looks okay. A little bearish on the daily. Bearish on the 3-day. The 3-day actually does not look great on the Ripple. It looks like it needs to have a little purge. Man, maybe the purge is coming, y'all. Maybe it is here. Maybe that little bullshit rally to that trend line for the 7th time was enough to get enough energy to get this party started. 4-hour. Bearish, 850, bearish, hour, neutral. So on the hour, it looks like we're kind of neutral across the board. That makes sense. Bitcoin's sitting there. This also looks to be around halfback in 618. Yeah, it tapped the 618, and now we're hanging around the 382. So, man, you know, like just having this just kind of chill and go sideways for a little bit would not be the worst thing, and like let this kind of cool off from the weak rally and then the hardcore sell-off with a little extra Goldman Sachs cherry on top. So, but it's not looking good. Ethereum still doesn't look good, y'all. That's the one thing that is concerning me probably the most right now. Alright, let's go to EOS and see what it's been doing. And then I'm going to show you a couple coins that are like, what? How is this doing so good? So, EOS experienced... Oops. about the same sell-off, a little bit harder than even the Bitcoin, about 20%. So it looks like it's still on this nice little trend line here. See, bam. Man, what is up with my mouse? Maybe it's user error. There you go. We're on this little trend line action here. Really more so this horizontal one will be better. The horizontals are usually stronger, which goes back to that 460 to 480 area, which was the original area that we accumulated over here, looking for a run actually to this channel. We talk about that in my videos and managing them and stuff like that. You can go check on those. They're time-stamped as par always. So EOS is kind of bearish. It's a little bearish. A lot more bearish on the 3-day. Weekly's kind of neutral. And of course, as I was just saying about most of the coins right now, they're all going to be neutral because Bitcoin is like that. Or most of the big ones will be neutral. Let's look at Monero. Good old Monero. Same kind of deal. Monero had a nice pop. Let's go to the daily. We were looking at it right over here in this area, around $100. It looked super ripe for something. There's a lot of support for Monero around a hundo. Good old hundo. So other than that, it looks like on the daily though, Monero is bullish, so that's different. Neutral on the 3-day, neutral on the 4-hour, kind of bearish on the 1-hour, and very neutral. So mostly neutral. Okay. So that's interesting. Let's look at another privacy coin then. Let's see if there's some correlation to that. Here we go. Oh, I don't have any lines on the Zcash. Oh, just add them real fast. Bam, bam, bada bang. So no, Zcash is still looking a little bit bearish, kind of like the other coins, except on the 1-hour it is bullish now, and that just happened actually in the last few hours. So, all right. There you go, Zcash. I do know something's getting announced. Sepling upgrade or something is happening fairly soon. I don't know the details about it. You can Google it up and go figure it out probably real fast. And let's see. I was going to look at Dash. That's what it was. That was not one of the coins, though, that I wanted to show you that's showing strength. But wow, Dash is. Dash is very bullish on the hour. That means it's probably almost on the 4-hour it is. Neutral on the daily. Neutral on the 3-day. Won't load on the 850. Alright, let's try that again. Neutral on the 850 too. Yeah, so interesting. Some of the privacy coins look to be showing a little bit of relative strength at the moment. I'm going to look into that more. So some coins that have been just defying anything Goldman Sachs related is the Doge coin. It's back up to 90 Satoshis, and it looks like it's about to break out again. Okay? I'm about to put an alert on here. I almost bought some too, but I was like, no, I can't. I couldn't do it. I didn't have the balls, y'all. Just couldn't do it. Even though it just was like bullish as hell on the 4-hour, even hovering right above the 21 EMA. The bulls never got tired. They bitch slapped the bears back down to below mid-teens on the DMI down here, and they have regained their strength as of early or late yesterday morning, like 3 a.m. So it looks like they're about to come up here and looks like breakout. That looks really strong on the daily. Oh yeah, looks real good. Looks real nice. So this is so crazy. Like Doge did not get phased at all. King Doge, power to the shib. Much crazy. So Doge is defying stuff. A coin that I've liked a lot and talked about on here a little bit, not much, is Next Coin. They have awesome DEX and smart contract platform and all that. They've been around since 2014. They're an OG in the crypto space. If y'all don't know that, now you know. There's an old school chart from going all the way back to April of last year. I'm sorry, like April of 2014. My bad. Like April last year. Yeah, okay, idiot. So you can see this, it is just teetering on the lows, on its forever lows. So now you have to ask yourself, is this the shit coin that will never, it's just shit and never do anything? I don't believe that. And I think the risk to reward ratio down here is fairly good. No, it's actually pretty damn good. Let's go ahead and draw a long position box with our little handy dandy tool, our handy dandy notebook. I mean, we're like easily, I mean, look at like these previous past crazy pumps. Like, I'll be conservative and just take it to right upside outside this little box I drew right here now. And even if you went down to here, you're talking about 30-40%, and that's not that bad when you're at these lows, these like super lows. But this one I would give about that, about 30-40%, but I would be targeting something like that, so you're still getting at least that 2 to 3 to 1 ratio. I like 3 to 1 better. It's just harder to get those setups, and you have to be way super patient. Next coin on the Twitter, I was talking about next coin being an awesome buy here because they were having a airdrop for ARDR, or for Ignis, which is, they're like a family of coins there. So you can check that out. That was pretty awesome. That was insane. You know, back when the airdrops are more cool, man, I can't wait till a bull market happens again. It's just so much fun. Everyone's so boring right now. All right, let's see here. Let me check one thing out. All right, good deal. So I'm gonna leave that on there and see what happens. Next coin, let's go look at its older brother, or actually younger but better brother. Oh wow, it's in the gutter. Look at that. That's an interesting chart. I'm gonna put me an alert down here and see if maybe we can get a little capitulation in ARDR. ARDR has an awesome platform. It is like the upgraded version of Next, and Ignis is their other part of their family. It was the first child chain on ARDR, kind of. It's just very experimental, very shitcoin-esque. Oh, you don't say. As I pull up this chart. That's correct. Check it out for yourself. Revolutionary. It's changing Bitcoin forever, y'all. You already know it is. Just kidding. It's definitely clearly not. But this is interesting. It's getting into retarded cheap zone. These are really dangerous trades, y'all. And this is not a very liquid product. This is not trading advice. These are my opinions, by the way. Don't get wrecked. I was just showing you the family of the coins, and this is the first child chain that they did and airdrop. That's why Next blew up, because you got like 1-to-1 or something for it. So it's just like free. You know, people like to chase some of the free monies. All right. So, interesting. Privacy coins are showing a little bit of relative strength. Litecoin looks pretty much just like Bitcoin now. Ethereum, Vitalik, Unicorn Man is looking a little weak. That chart does not look very good. And his chart actually didn't look good before that sell-off happened. Way before Goldman Sachs, stupid news. That's dumb. News gets applied to price, y'all. It's almost always that way. Of course, if like something gets bombed, you know, like when 9/11 happened or something, and markets just started selling off, but those are like super outlier events, right? So maybe in that case, but generally speaking, it's not the case. So, I think, let me go ahead and pull up the Bitcoin chart while we're doing some final thoughts here. There you go. Oh, look, we're having a little rally. We were just talking about that, maybe coming up here to test the top of this box, which is actually the 55 exponential. And, you know, in 25 minutes, this will be one of the first hourlies over this. Now, don't get too excited. You want to get back up over the orange, and ultimately you really want to pass the 618, local 618 from this, which is about 6,900 to 7,000. Really, we need a daily close now, y'all, above 7K. That's just what it is. Which is about right outside this box, 69, 7K right here. funny. It's been drawn on there forever. That number is just like magnet right now. This rejection right here does not look great at all though on the 21. On the 55. That's mean. It's pretty mean looking. It's like, no. You back up. So be careful here. If I did not trade this short, but if I had a short on from here, which I definitely should have, because I sold out and went cash, that means I need to go short, right? That means I don't want to be long. Stupid. Stupid. That's okay, though. If I did have a short on there, though, I would have already been out of it yesterday. I'll tell you that much. So, and I would be waiting for price action to give me confirmation. You got to manage winners. You got a huge move. You can't just like pretend it's gonna go and break down forever now and go to 3K like in the next week. Like, come on, man. Short from here to there. That's a great move. That's what, 12, 15% or whatever it was. It's about $1,000 just notional. Like, man, especially if you're on leverage, that's a beautiful thing, and it's fast. It's one fun thing about bear markets. They pay you a lot quicker. Alright guys, so with that said, watch out for this box. Be careful with your positions right here. Don't try to... I think it would be a mistake to try to get a little bit bearish, extra bearish right now, especially if you already didn't have one on. Because you might be chasing... What's FOMO in reverse? I don't know what it's called, but there has to be a term for it. It's like fear of, I guess, fear of just missing out on the profits to the downside. Maybe it's just the same thing. It's FOMO. It's like FOMO reverse. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. Like FOMO as far as like the term. I don't think it is. I've never heard of it, but it's definitely a thing you can like, oh shit, it's gonna keep going down. I'm gonna get short right here now. Careful with that. Especially when you zoom back out and we're in the middle of this range that we've been in almost the entire year. So you have to put the left of the chart into perspective with what just happened too. So, and we're sitting on the 618 retracement. But now it was the exact same thing back up here before we really sold off hard. So maybe we'll make a Bart pattern. We haven't seen a Bart pattern in a while. Yeah, see, we could make a Bart pattern. That could totally happen. We definitely haven't seen one of those in a hot minute. Alright, Bart pattern it is. No, I don't know shit, but that would be funny. Alright, guys. So, those are my final thoughts on the BTC. Again, this is your host, Z-Rex, with no noise. And I wish y'all happy trading. Remember to practice risk management. It will set you apart from everybody else. Just doing that. Alright, much love. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.